Hello, this is mzjanis, your natural hair care practitioner tutor. So glad you've made it. Do you have your pencils, pens? Do you have your notebooks out, ready to take some notes? I started with my hair out today, took my lock sock off just to make sure that I did not forget to show you my locks. It is a nice day. We're going to start tonight off with hair growth catagen. We did anagen yesterday, catagen today, and then we're going to do the telogen. I wanted to make sure that I show my locks today because I want to show you how some of them are splitting. I don't know if it's some, I just know that this one, and I was going to lock it back together, but I said no, I'm not going to do that. So that's the one today. I basically wanted to show you that. It is a couple of them though. So here's another one. And I noticed today when I read it that a lot of them have, besides the fact that they're separating, yeah, this one is basically three. Not all of them are separating, but notice that some are, and like I said, I was going to put them back together. Here's another. And I was like, no, they'll have something to, they'll have something to marry. That way I know they're locking on their own. I get to wash it on Saturday. So I get to take the the rubber bands out, and you can see they're so loose. The rubber bands are like, and today I took, I think, three out while they were dry, and then I took one out while it was wet. So this is definitely a wet. Uh, oh no, I can't believe I forgot the word again. Anyway, hair growth catagen. I hope you all are doing well though. I'm going to be real quick, and I was going to go over some questions today, but I think not. Because I noticed that when I was reading them, what I've been saying is coming back to me. Like, think of it as an address. So it's 3409. So that's the number for that very first page, telling how the natural hair care segment of cosmetology became into existence during 2013. It says the legislative session House Bill 3409 passed. See, creating natural hair care as a field of practice under the Board of Cosmetology. Then it goes on to talk about the training module. There's no school. And I was like, I was remembering this. I'm like, hold up. I was like, well, if I remember this, that means that I must be doing it right. So I'm going to keep. And then after, like I said, I'm deciding now so many things I'm going to do after I take the test, after I pass the licensing part. Okay, hair growth catagen. Catagen is the transition or resting phase after years of growing when the hair cells stop reproducing and the hair begins to lose moisture and separates from the papilla. This phase can last up to 2 weeks. And you have to keep going. It's like a cycle, a hair cycle. So that means your hair has cycles. And then there's telogen, which is the hair growth phase. So it's catagen, telogen. And I keep spelling it just in case it's called telogen, like Gen. Atogen, like Gen, like that. So it's Actogen, then it's Catogen, then it's T. Yeah, I was gonna say that I might as well not spell it until I get to it. But it's Telogen, telogen. I pronounce it telogen, but it's telogen. And telogen is the shredding or resting phase when the bulb is totally separate from the root and new hair cells divide and multiply, creating a new hair shaft. And remember, we just did the shaft, and we just did the one that's a part of the shaft. So I said the shaft and Because it's Sir, SR. So it's shaft and not region. Hold on. So now I remember the root. Shaft and root. And I just said that word. Bulb is totally separate from the root and new hair. I just said it. Shaft and root. Okay. Totally separate from the root and new hair cells divide and multiply, creating a new hair shaft. This phase can last up to 4 months. Anytime it talks about hair growing, I'm in. I'm like in. You know, I am totally in. And that's the type of hairstyle I'm trying to think of why I put these in. It's a style that you don't bother, and I'm trying to think of one for locks. Well, locks is one in itself. It's one of those styles where you just don't bother the hair, and you're really not supposed to, but I do. And that's what's making mine grow. And they're still long, they're still getting thick at the roots. When you take the rubber bands off, it makes for a nice hairstyle because all the hair does basically is just spread out a little bit more throughout the day. And I'm debating on whether to wash my hair with the rubber bands in or take them out and then put them back in. I haven't decided yet, so I plan on doing that on either Friday night or Saturday. But you'll get to see, so don't worry. Hair characteristics. There are two general characteristics of hair differences. TT, type, texture. TT, type, texture. Like SR, shaft, root. Okay, TT, type, texture. And you'll think of your own ways to remember, but as we're going through, I'm trying to make your mind almost go to like, when you're driving down the street and you say, oh yeah, there is a statue at this corner down here. So it's like you know where you are because of the statue. And that's what I'm trying to do with the added like acts or the trying to make up some quick sayings to help you remember where your mind is supposed to think. Remember, we're supposed to be thinking natural hair care practitioner, so that when we get our license, at least these basic rules, regulations, standards, laws, and requirements, at least these are reminded because we can constantly, even after we get the license, we're going to constantly go over this. We're just going to continually add to the. Okay, now we're at the hair characteristics type. And types deal with like the curl, the straightness, the how, no, it's not curl. It's straight, wavy, curly, or spiral coil. My hair is definitely spiral coil around here. Um, sort of straight. It's no. It would be considered. What would that be considered? Curly? I think all of it is just spiral curl, coiled. But look at how now he has silver hair growing in the front. My hair doesn't know what it wants to do. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, hold on. Step in now. Good. Okay, so hair characteristics type. Hair types are basic forms and general characteristics of hair fiber, which are classified into four variations. There's straight, which is the round ones, like totally round. Then there's wavy, which is like oval. Then there's curly, which is almost flat. And then there's kinky and core, which is flat and spiral. So you got circular, which is straight. Then you got the next one, which is called wavy, oval, or well, this is circle. Okay, we can consider this circle, and then we're going to consider this oval. Yeah, take it away. I mean, so this is circle. Oh, we can put it together. That's oval. So instead of saying it like that, sorry, I'm doing it backwards. This is straight, which is a circle. This is wavy, which is an oval. This is curly, which is almost flat. And this is kinky or coiled, which is naturally flat, because I'm doing the top of the hand, so that's naturally flat. Not naturally, but it's flat. And of course, we're going to go over these. So let me show you the picture. So you got the circle right here, and make sure you can see it. The circle right here, which is straight. The oval, which is wavy. The curly, which is almost flat. And then flat is spiral or coil. That sounds like a little song. Okay, hair characteristics. Let's do the texture. Hair texture is the measurement and curl configuration of hair fiber resulting from three characteristics. And right now, as I'm telling you this, I'm reminded of how perm hair is straight, right? Well, my perm hair would be straight. And okay, perm hair is straight, so it's almost I'm thinking of whether this hair texture changes or the shape. No, I think it's the hair texture change. Oh, and you will be happy to know what I did was I called the uh, Oregon Health Licensing Agency. Well, they call it the office, HLO, Health Licensing Office today, and I asked two questions. One of them was regarding the uh, the actual address of the facility where we're supposed to take the test, and it's the one that's right here, 143 Tampton Avenue Northeast, Suite 180, Salem, Oregon. And then there's the phone number, 503-378-8667. So you want to know if you have any questions to call. The second one was, I told you all how I got in trouble for spanking my daughter in 1999. And I said it got expunged from my record. And I said, but is it okay if I put it on there anyway? And she said that it's best to play it safe, that just in case they decide to check it out and it is not expunged. You want to make sure that you are on the up and up and they are seeing that you at least wrote it down like that. Well, no, my other question, well, this is the address, but my other question, because when I called, they said this. This is like part of the announcement before they say, if you know which party you want to reach, please press 3, like that. So they said that the offices has moved. The health licensing office has moved. And the address is, and then they said 1430 Tandem. That was the address. So my other question was, I forgot. To the page when I thought of it. I feel so sorry. Wait a minute, what was the other question? It wasn't the. It wasn't the. I I think it was the one about the picture ID, because it says according to. I'm not sure that's what it was. It says according to something. Meet the requirements of OAR 3331. It don't even say what the requirements are. It just says meet them. Anyway, I'm trying to make sure that I get everything possible that I can think of in your tutorials so that when you listen to them, you can take notes and, you know, because there's no reason to go now. What did she? Now, where are we supposed to go? Where are we supposed to go to get the application? Where are we? Because it tells you where to get the application in this packet, but that's the hard way. All you need to do is go to the Health, Organ Health, www. Anyway, I told you where to go. So all you got to do is go there, and then once you're on there, you put in the search engine licensing for Oregon. No, it's called Natural Hair Practitioner License, and it tells you how to, you know, just directs you there. I tried to go the other way, and it kept like Google search kept opening up or Bing search like that, and it never showed me. And I'm clicking on links, and I was like, if this is frustrating to me, for those that don't know how to go all over the internet to find stuff, I gotta find the easiest way possible. Okay, so let's get back to it. Hair character or texture. Hair characteristics texture. Hair texture is the measurement and curl configuration of a hair fiber resulting from three characteristics: the diameter, the porosity, the elasticity. So the DPE, diameter, porosity, elasticity, or DEP, diameter, elasticity, porosity. Hair characteristics. Let's do diameter. Diameter refers to the size of the individual strands of hair and degree of coarseness or fineness. Coarse hair is largest in diameter, and fine hair is smallest in diameter. Okay, hair characteristics. Porosity. Porosity is the hair's ability to absorb moisture through the cuticle into the cortex. The degree of porosity is directly related to the condition of the cuticle. I just this I mean this locking is the so far the only hairstyle, the only one that keeps my hair moist. It's the only one. It's the I mean, even if it doesn't look moist, I do like this, and you can see oil. Hold on, let me do it. Okay, this is the only one. This locking my hair is the only one that holds moisture. I used to say my hair eats grease. My hair used to stay so dry. And I noticed that once I every day sprayed and massage and, you know, just drink water and just do like basically do my part, I noticed that my hair is growing, um, thickening, uh, making me happy. Uh, it hardly ever itches anymore. It still itches, but not like it used to. This part right here used to itch no matter what. And I just started adding extra oil to just that part. Like I'd wet my hair, whatever, and I would spray oil. I wet my hair, whatever, and then later on at night, you know, I would just oil this part right here. Just that would be it. And then I would just take my thumbs, both sides of the head, and just massage in the back. I put my thumbs like this and massage. Keep my thumbs in one place and just massage. And I try to massage the way that the hair is growing. And I think that's one of the reasons I received the opportunity to see hair growth in my parts. Because I'm always massaging in the parts, I'll pull the hair up and just massage down so that I can make sure that I'm massaging the scalp, not just the hair. And I do this, I mean, when I first started with my natural hair care growth journey in 19, 2017. It was like I on purpose tried to do a style that I didn't have to like comb and brush and all the time. Even though I did brush and comb my locks, well, not really combing, but I would try until one day I noticed that when my hair is this loose like this, it's I call these out. Let's call these loose locks, okay, or loose hair locks, because I'm noticing, like I said, how let's see if I can find it, how they're even separating. But when I put a comb in it, and the reason I'm showing you is because it says porosity is the hair's ability to absorb moisture through the cuticle into the cortex. The degree of porosity is directly related to the condition of the cuticle. There's a low porosity, which is referred to as hydrophobic. See, low and then hydrophobic. And then a high porosity is referred to as hydrophilic. So I would say high is like filling a glass of water. It's talking about um, um, being able to, let me see, absorb moisture. So I think of water when I think of moisture. So fill the glass with water, hydrophilic, and then low porosity is hydro. It's just a word you got to remember. Hydrophobic. Because remember I said one of the best ways to remember something is to remember one. Like when I was in the army, I remember that this is my right hand, and when they would say right, and I would tense my right hand, it'd be down here, but I'll tense it, and then face, so I knew which way to turn. Left, because they would give you a pause. But they would say right face, left face. They'll play little games to see if you can really get it. You just have to do it faster. That's all. Ew. So I noticed, like I was saying, oh, and then I went out the rat tooth comb. This is the one where you go like this, make your part straight. But of course, I don't really want parts. I'm just slowly trying to get my first my my hair. I don't know why I said sound. Get my hair to a point to where after I take off the rubber bands, I can get back to the loose locks. Anyway, let me show you. I put it in and look. See, I'm pulling. This is locked. Doesn't look locked. It doesn't look locked, but it's locked. Okay, let's do this one. It's locking. So I have a loose lock. My hair looks loose and it's locked. The only way I knew that though is for some reason my hair wouldn't lock at the ends. It would not lock at the ends. So I was taking them out because I wanted a knotted afro. That's basically what I want. I mean a lock afro. Yeah, lock afro. That's what I was trying to call it anyway. But one day I went to comb it again and it was like, no, hold up. And it looked just like this. And I was like, it's locked. So that's why I'm calling them loose locks because see, it's actually locked. So that's one of the reasons why I'm debating or whether to leave these in because I really don't like having them in, but I'm trying to think of different ways to keep your hair parted for those who are starting locks and get kind of disappointed when the hair is washed. And I, us, we're so you can keep it separated. Because look, let me show you one more time. Hold on, I gotta find them now. Hold on, 1 second. I know I'm gonna find them. Oh, here we go. See right here? It's like right at the tip. It's part of this lock right here. That's what's starting to get connected to the other locks. It's right at the tip. I'm noticing long hair. Not this. This is part of that. But I'm noticing like single long. There's one. See? It's the single long hairs that are connecting to other locks. Like, and it's not like the one right next to it. Like way back there somewhere. Anyway, let's keep going. We're on page 28. 29. That was 28. Hair characteristic elasticity. So there's porosity, elasticity, and you have to, like I said, you have to get a little acronym together, like SR, shaft and root, ax, anagen, catagen, telogen. Uh, like hair characteristic elasticity, porosity, and I didn't think of one for it, but I did think of one for the pathogenic bacteria. And then just you got to remember one of them is cold and the other one is in a car. So you have a fur coat on, so it's fur uncle, and then you have like you driving a car, it's car uncle, carbuncle. Yeah, carbuncle. Okay, so let's get back to it. Elasticity is the hair's ability to stretch and return to its original size and shape without breaking. And when my hair was more elastic, I would pull it out and let it go. But now I remember I tried to stop doing it because I don't know if I'm pulling the lock. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I noticed that when I would wet my hair and I would do like this, and the hair would go like way down here, and then normal elasticity is springy and lustrous. Dry hair stretches only 1/5 its length. Wet hair stretches up to 50% of its length. But normal elasticity is just spongy and lustrous, and I would consider my hair being normal elasticity. It's spongy or springy and lustrous. Can you imagine these being long? Just having I have a picture of one that it's in my phone. Oh, I can't wait to show y'all that one. I do. When I used to need a picture for a person's hair, for a person, at first when I was making hats, I was really, doing hats. And so I just started taking pictures of the hats as the people. Like Aunt Pearl has a yellow with the white, and Mother so and so has a hat that looks like that. I'll just take pictures of the hats I was making. Now I take pictures of my locks. Like Grandma Johnson has locks that the back, and then Elder so and so has this set of locks, and then like that. It was just I just thought I'd share that. Okay, hair characteristic, occipital region. Wait a minute, isn't there a scalp when you saw that? In the wrong spot. Good thing we've been going over this, huh? Okay, hair characteristics. Now they're talking about region. There are 4 bone structures on the cranium which results in the variations of hair texture. And the occipital, let me show you what that is. And if you look real close, you can see like lines. See, here's a line right here, going back this way. There's a line going this way. There's a line going here to here. So the top of this, I don't know if you can see it. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to see it, but now let me read some of this. Let me see it. Person personal. Let's put this in there too. Now look at it. Says the hair characteristic, the occipital region. It's sort of like behind. You can't see my. Oh, there is my finger. My finger is pointing real close to it. Okay. And it says, is the bone that forms the back of the cranium indenting above the nape. And then I hope I got it close enough. And that's how you spell it. So I'm going to leave it like this, okay? And then it says hair in the occipital region is tighter in its coil configuration, in addition to being drier, more brittle, and easier to break. Oh, you know what I just noticed? The microphone isn't plugged in. Okay, the parietal, the frontal, and the temporal. So I'm going to put these here, and I hope you got like a little snapshot of that. And the only reason why I remember that there was a picture, like I just showed you, is because it said occipital, and that's the OCCIPITAL, occipital. So OCCIPITAL. Okay, hair characteristics, parietal region, and it said region. So I was like, those are the different haircuts, because I remember when I found this one right here, and I was like, yeah, it is a little bit tighter. But yeah, it is, you know. See, a lot of them, like I said, you can't really see this one, but they're all coming loose. And remember, I was showing you how I did it. But I was gonna, you put your hand, your fingers rather, and you pull it through. You put your hand this way and pull it through, and then you just tighter. See, I'm trying to take it loose. All I hear is tearing, so I gotta stop. Okay, hair characteristics, parietal region. The parietal is the two bones that form the sides and top of the cranium. And I remember that's what I was showing you right here. There's a part right here on that skull. And its hair in the parietal region has a greater variety of diverse textures, which is true. Because I noticed this right here is, like it said, it's very kinky. Very, very, very thick. This one right here, this one is very thick, very thick. I'm loving it, by the way, but I just thought I'd let you know. And test your own hair. Try your own hair. See, is it true? That way you can remember. Oh yeah, this is the one that this is called the the that's the frontal parietal. This is the occipital. So, and then you touch as I'm talking, so that you can remember too. Okay? The hair characteristics, the frontal region. Frontal is the bone that forms the forehead, so it's that bone. Hair in this parietal region has a great variety of diverse textures. Hair characteristic. Temporal region. Temporal is the two bones located on either side of the head directly above the ears. And then as you touch and say temporal. Temporal. Remember, some people said that, like, if your head is hurting. If your head is hurting, you want to do this right here. Oh, that feels really good. My head's not hurting, but it feels good. It's like a dent. Oh my goodness, this feels really good. And then there's another one right here. If you do it with your thumb, it's like your thumb fits right in the indent. It's like the perfect size. Mm. This reminds me of the commercial that tells why they only make beds with Serta beds. They don't make chairs or car seats or carpets. I was telling somebody this the other day. They don't make carpet out of Serta material. One day, this in the commercial, the guy was getting ready to go to work, and he dropped his keys, and like a half hour later, he was getting up off the floor. And another one was backing out of the garage because he had a car seat out of the certain bed material. And he was just, I mean, anyway, I just thought I'd share that. Okay, because I was massaging my temples and my temporal area. Hair in this temporal region displays a soft or fine coil, is less brittle, and the spiral pattern may vary from a very tight to loose or medium to large corkscrew pattern. And I don't know because this feels kind of thickish. Oh no, here's diseases and disorders. This is not this. I want is just a good one. This is the one where I started telling you before you get here, put your gloves on. Now I'm gonna have to find some gloves that really fit my fingers because I'm going to be one of the ones that practice doing hair with their gloves on. So I'm going to have to find gloves that really fit my fingers. They're latex. They come in small, medium, and large, but I just have to find them. And I'm kind of excited about because, like I said, I get the opportunity to practice. On my head, on someone else's head. Oh, the nicest! I got the nicest question today. The question was, when you got your dreads, did it hurt? I was like, no. I said, as a matter of fact, one of the things you can do is see, I got rubber band. I took my hat off and everything, my lock sock off and everything and showed it. I said, you can ask your mom to just start them with rubber bands. See right here? And I don't know if I took it out or not, but anyway, this is the very important part. Now, I'm gonna get up close and personal with this one. I'm gonna hold this up to my eyeballs. It says diseases and disorders. Diseases and disorders may either be infectious, and this is what we have to remember, okay? An allergic reaction to chemicals, or an autoimmune response, meaning your nose just didn't like the way that felt, or your mouth or throat just don't like it, or feels raspy or I noticed that when I use, oh, I got one. No, that's not gonna work. Oh, I noticed that when I use coconut oil on my head, it makes my hair feel like wire. It really, see, look, it's connecting already. You see right here? See? It doesn't care. Now you know it wasn't there earlier because I see, look at where it is. It's down here. I told you it doesn't care. It connects when it wants to and when it can. And this is what I usually do. I said, okay, you want to connect? Well, I'll just pop it in the middle. So now it's separate and it can stay. But see, there's another one. And it does it all the time. That's why you want to be able to constantly do this. You don't want to have to do it like another one in the back. I don't know if you can see it. Sometimes it kind of hurts. Oh. I don't know why it's deciding to connect right now. I guess because I'm on camera and it wants it wants you to see how I pop that or separate it. Okay. I was saying about autoimmune response. Some people are allergic even from the smell of stuff. Like they're allergic to like fresh water, not fresh water, like shrimp, or they're allergic to crab, or they're allergic to certain types of food, and they can't even be around it. They can't even, like, how some people say, well, I can't eat that, or I'm allergic to that. And then they say, well, I guess I could take it out of the dish, out of the meal. Some people won't even touch it. No, that's all right. I don't want no. Hey, that's all right. I don't want no. Well, you can take it out. No, it's already. I mean, I'm smelling it. And look, there's a bump right there. You know. So you want to make sure that before you get here and touching people's head and scalp, and you can ask, are they allergic to anything, or has they ever had a reaction to like the smell of bleach? Or like my mom isn't allergic to bleach, but it does something to her throat. She says so she doesn't like the smell of bleach. Each disease or disorder has its own specific symptoms or conditions. Practitioners, and that's me and you, should look for any type of abnormalities of the scalp prior to providing services. Now that right there says what you should do. So, and I've been saying before you get here, get your gloves on, and advise the client to seek medical attention if necessary. I'm planning on telling them to seek medical attention, period. Or can we pray about that? Because some people don't, like myself. We just don't go to the doctor. We talk to Father about everything. You're like, what? Are you serious? I'm serious. There was a time I went to the doctor. Diseases and disorders. Diseases and disorders can be accelerated by internal or external trauma, such as physical stress or hormonal or chemical imbalances. Hair may be diminished by the weakened condition of traumatized state to the scalp, of the scalp, resulting from disease or disorder. I do know that some medicines take your hair out. Oh no, it must be after 9. Excuse me. Diseases, fungus. Fungal organisms are characterized by itching scales and sometimes by painful circular lesions. The following forms of fungus are contagious and can be easily transmitted from one person to another by the infected skin scales or hairs that contain the fungi which spread the disease. Just knowing that right there makes me want to shout, shout, shout. Before you get here, with your gloves on, you want to make sure that you have put out or have the people form a checkout list, or anything like check off list. It's almost like when people say they're not responsible for blah blah blah, and then they have you sign it, you know, because they'll ask, and then some people say no, I have never, or yes, but I that was when I was little, or something like that. I used to be allergic to tomatoes, or I used to be, and what it would do was they would put these blotches, whatever, they would try to explain the reaction to it, which is what this is talking about. But you don't want to get to the point where if you're working in somebody's hair and find out that they have, like, because you'll have them assign a release. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a release, but you want them to know, you want to know, or you want it to be known that you ask specific questions before you begin to work on their hair. If they said no, I haven't had scabies, or um, I like the way that they put it on here, because they called it something else, seborrheic dermatitis, or psoriasis dermatitis. That's not it. It's one of them. Oh man, it's the one where it talks about the bugs in the hair. I think it's this one, because it gives it the name, and which is the technical term for it, and then it says this is what it is on the next page. And then it tells you, no, now I'm going to this is after this is that's not it. Oh, congenital, acquired, or ringed hair. Those are disorders, canitized, and that one is CAR. That's I was just saying that because that's another way to. I mean, they're doing it, so I think that's pretty snazzy that they're doing it too. Trying to give you different ways to remember. I don't know where it is. It might be right here where I am because it shouldn't be that far down in the book. Oh, God. Diseases and fungus. Fungal organisms are characterized by itching scales and sometimes by painful circular lesions. The following forms of fungus are contagious and can be easily transmitted from one person to another by the infected skin, scales, or hair that contains the fungi which spread the disease. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to be efficient with sterilizing our tools, but this is one reason why you should be proficient with sterilizing our tools because you don't want things to get on you, on your clients, passed from one client to another, etc. You want to be proficient, or is it efficient? Proficient. I think it's proficient. Tinea capitis and Tinea verbosa. I think this is it. Tinea capitis is red papules. I mean, disease of fungus. And then it says Tinea capitis, red papules or spots at the opening of the hair follicle. The follicle is the hole that the hair comes out of. Patches spread and the hair becomes brittle and lifeless, breaking off, leaving a stump or shed from the enlarged open follicles. See, that doesn't even sound good. You don't want to be working with that. Unless, of course, someone says, this is the problem. What should I do? How can I get rid of this? And it tells you in the beginning of this, the fungus, the diseases, etc., that if you see that, you should hopefully send them to the doctor. And then what will happen is you'll get gloves and all that kind of stuff, and they'll actually maybe you can help me. You're my personal natural hair care practitioner, and I would like for you to help me. Then maybe they'll allow you to come over to their home and then put in a hairstyle that will you won't have to bother as much. I don't know why I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word. I started September the 1st. That's how come I put this in. Protective style. Woo! They will maybe want you to help them by showing them a protective style or doing a protective style. And see, we're ones that will teach others how to do their own hair. And because of that, that's how I started with getting my hair to grow back. I found a protective style, which is locking. I found a protective style that I like. And then I did all of the locks, like say, well, this wasn't here, so, or maybe this was here, but all of the other parts wasn't. I showed you all, so you saw the picture. And so what I did is I fixed my hair in such a way that as it grew, I slowly put the hair into it. I slowly did it until I got to the point to where I had some hair. Then I took that hairstyle out because the hair wasn't growing except for in those spots where it was parted. And so because it wasn't growing, I took it out and then I did this down here, a row here, like that. And so now, if I wanted to twist my hair or cornrow, let's see if there's rows that go to this. I can just put my hand through like this. If I wanted to do it this way, it would be like that. That's where the part is. Okay. This one, see, it's parted in such a way that when the hair starts growing in the parts, that's what I basically want. And I put I started out with 150 something locks, and this time I believe I had like, I know I don't have 50, so I believe I had like 48 to 50. And I'm thankful that we was talking about protective hairstyles, and I put the rubber band in, even though I don't know if that's how it got separated, but they will separate. I do know that, and they will come out. Look at the silver in the part. Ah! Oh, sorry. Okay, so dry, sulfur yellow, cup like crust on the scalp, which has a peculiar odor causing bald patches that may be pink or white and shiny. And I like this module because it's literally explaining what to expect. It's literally explaining what to expect. Not what they expect, but what we should expect as natural hair care practitioners. And we can get to a point to whereas we know this, we're aware of it, and we want our customers to be aware, but not in a way like, girl, I saw some fungus and some. No, 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 no. We want our customers to be aware just in case, like if anything ever happens. You know, it was saying how I know that I'm allergic to the dye of a tattoo, but I didn't know that until I got a tattoo. Like that. Some people don't know. Oh no, don't put coconut oil on your head. You know, how does it like that? Because I put coconut oil on my head and my hair feels like wire. But when I put castor oil on my head, it's like, oh my goodness. It's like it just stays in my hair. Coconut oil just seems like it just lays on it, and if I do like this, it all come out. It seems like it does not penetrate my scalp or anything. Like 3 days down the road, it's still up there. It's like, did my breast set out yesterday? Okay, diseases, parasites. Parasites are living organisms that feed, grow, and thrive on or in a host organism. See? Okay, now these are the names of them. Pediculosis capitis, which is head lice. Oh, wrong page. Which is head lice. Or scabies, which is itch mites. Itch mites. So that's uh don't worry, we're gonna come up with something. If you continually follow Miss Janice, we're gonna come up with something. We're gonna come up with a check off list. Because I told y'all what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody that would not necessarily talk like me, but I know one of the things they will remember is before you get here, with your gloves on. I know you're gonna remember that. Because of what this module is explaining to me is that you're going to see this. If you're doing this for 10, 11, 15, 22 years, this is awesome because you're already starting to teach it. So it's not like I'm gonna wait till I turn 50 and I'm gonna start teaching. No, you're gonna start teaching as soon right out the gate because you're gonna teach everyone that you work on to do what you do. That's what you're gonna do. You are gonna be such a phenomenon as a licensed natural hair care practitioner that you're not gonna believe it on your own self. So let's get back to work. Diseases, parasites. Pediculosis capitis, and I like that because of the way it sounds, and it sounds like a head cap, capitis. We'll call it capitis. Pediculosis capitis is head lice, which feeds on the scalp, causing itching, and when scratched, can cause infection. Scabies are itch mites, which burrow under the skin, causing inflammation, blisters, and pustules, and when scratched, can cause infection. So I don't know if there's shampoo for that. I know there's a comb for it, but I saw where the African American hair that is tightly coiled, it's hard to get that comb through it. And one young lady said what she did was, I gotta look at it. It was on, I saw it on YouTube. Diseases, pathogenic bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria is a one-cell organism that causes disease and infection when entering the body. And so we're done with these, and tomorrow we'll start with uh, diseases, pathogenic bacteria. So let's get out our 21 pages. That means that we're going to be on page 65. We're stopping, or this is 64 here. And my pages are getting bent. No, I'm going to have to run off some more. Oh, we're going to get the styles and techniques. Yeah, because I got to remember protective styles. Uh, Hallelujah. Okay. So, is saying how it's going to work next after I get my license. And the reason I'm figuring that out is because I said yesterday and then the day before I was saying how September the 1st I'm going to start, just read the whole book through, see how long it takes, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going like that. And I'm noticing it's like, why? These are free. And all I'm doing is tutoring. And when you tutor, it's real hands-on. It is test, but the test comes, and I'm noticing I'm asking questions, I'm telling, I'm explaining, and you're supposed to be the one that's taking the notes. I'm not supposed to give you everything as a tutor. You're, but don't worry. After I get my license, I'll know what works and what does not work. That's the nice part about me being tutored with you. Because I learn by continually reading, and making acronyms and, figuring how I'm teaching you is how I learn. And everybody doesn't learn like this. There are going to be some of you who do hands-on, the practicals like that. So I'm real excited. Uh, my sister called today and said that she can take the test in October any Monday or Friday because those are her days off. And I was so happy. I didn't tell her I was gonna go and do this without her because I hadn't heard from her. She was apologizing and everything. Because I'm really gonna do this. Hallelujah! I'm just so excited. Okay, let me stop. 58. Oh no, it's not even an hour. I was trying to at least do an hour. No, I'm just joking. All right, all right. All right, no, all right, natural hair care practitioners. Just think, one of these days, you're going to be licensed. Janice is going to be licensed as a natural hair care practitioner. There's so many things. I don't even know what my sister does. I don't know if she does braids. I don't know if she does locks. I don't know if because she locked her son's hair, and then my niece is talking about, did it hurt when I got my locks? I was on my dreads. She said, did it hurt when you got your dreads? I was like, no. It's like you only have to comb your hair if you don't want to. But if she gets dressed, I'm gonna be so proud of her. I'm gonna make her a couple of hats, a couple of lobster designs is what I call it now. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again the next time.